The Something for the Weekend team get even busier than usual during the summer. It's not that there's nothing to podcast about, far from it, but it's tricky to get the whole gang together, even from the remote locations, to record the weekly show. However, we haven't been standing by idly and have managed to record a few podcasts in advance. This week, a new project is being launched by Oban Men's Shed to restore a little piece of maritime history. Kathie has been chatting to the project's John McAllister and Colin to find out how they plan, with the help of willing hands and council funding, to restore clinker boat the Mary Jane and get her back on the water. Built about 90 years ago in Easdale and registered as a small craft in World War II, this special lady is badly in need of some tender loving care to become seaworthy once again.
Hello, I'm Kathie Griffiths and I'm here with Colin Turtle and John McAllister from the Men's Shed to meet a very important lady. Colin, you're going to tell us all about her.
Well, the lady is called Mary Jane and she's a clinker built boat by McQueen's of Easdale, and she was built in around 1932. She was registered as a small craft in World War II as craft number 552, and we're quite privileged to be the custodians and therefore hoping to restore a little piece of local maritime history.
And you got some money to help you do that, didn't you?
Yes, we did indeed. We were very fortunate to get a grant from the Argyll and Bute Council to support our project.
Okay, now I'm looking at her now and she's... Someone's going to be very, very busy. I'm looking at her now and I think she does need a little bit of tender loving care. She looks gorgeous, but there's quite a bit of work to be done there. So, John, I think you better tell us, where are you going to start?
I think we're going to have to start with stripping off all the paint and varnish to actually see what's underneath, because fine, it seems solid, but until we actually get to the bare wood, we won't know what we're facing. And it depends, as you can see inside, it's been painted various colours.
Oh, we've got what? We've got muddy brown,
yeah, blue.
Red.
So that's
red.
all. Yeah, that's all got to come off so we can actually see the condition of the wood underneath.
Do we know what kind of wood it is, John?
It's some sort of pine, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like pine.
Bit flaky.
Yes. Unfortunately, it was stored upside down, straight on the ground, which is not the best way to store a wooden boat, but never mind. It's here now and hopefully it'll be restored to its former glory.
So just having a look at her now, I'm trying to sort of paint a bit of a picture for people who are listening in. We've got sort of central seats. So this would have rowing, would be rowed it, or would there have been sails? What would it be like?
Those seats in the middle are called thwarts.
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 Oh, thwarts, okay.
And we think she was originally a rowing boat, but was converted to a dipping lug sail in the 1970s, and in the 80s she was converted again to have a main and jib with a gaff rigged boat. And again, she also has a place for a small engine at the back of it, at the stern. And the engine she originally had was a Seagull engine, and anybody that knows anything about boats will know about the Seagull engines. And we believe we've still got the Seagull engine as well, and we'll try and get it restored and working again as well.
So how is this restoration going to happen? Is it going to be a team of people from the Men's Shed? And where are you going to do it? Where are you going to do the restoration?
It's going to be done here because...
At a secret location?
Yes, because unfortunately it won't fit through the doors of the Men's Shed, and even if it did, we'd have to be out in the street.
How long is she? She's probably about what?
10, 12 foot.
Yeah?
Oh, a bit bigger than that, I'd say about 15. Aye.
Anyway,
Well, we'll measure, we'll know.
Yes.
Get your tape measure out.
Aye. As I say, there is nowhere else. I mean, if someone's got a lovely garage space that we could use, but it would be there for quite a while, so unfortunately commercial businesses can't afford to give up space like that, because any space they've got costs them money. So it's going to get done here. We'll get one of these temporary garages, you know, the gazebo type things, so that it'll be under cover. So because obviously we don't want it constantly getting soaked once the paint's off it. So that'll keep it dry, and it means then that once we start taking things apart and putting new bits on, they'll remain dry as well until we can get them coated.
Is that what's going to have to happen? Are you actually going to have to dismantle her first?
Well, a lot of it, as you can see inside, there's planking separating from the actual ribs, and there's actually splits in the main keel as well. So until we see how bad that is, whether we're going to have to replace near enough the whole boat. But it'll be like, what's his name? His broom?
Trigger's broom.
New handles, new brushes, but it's the same broom. But we hope to keep as much of the original as possible. Because I say it's a historic piece. It's nearly 90 years old. Yep.
Yeah.
Next year it'll be 90 years old, and it was built by a local company.
That's it. You mentioned Easdale, didn't you?
Yes,
McQueen's.
McQueen's. And apparently the boatyard they actually built, then the locals come out, because the boatyard wasn't actually at the water. The locals come out and helped carry the boat, push the boat, whatever, to get it into the water. So that was a local event as well when they were launching boats.
So when you actually start fixing it, repairing it, restoring it, you're going to have a team of people from the men's shed. Will it be different people doing different bits, or will it be an ongoing project?
Well, our hope is that once we get it started, we'll advertise again, and hopefully it'll encourage more people to come and join the man shed.
I mean, there must be retired joiners and retired ship workers there that are looking for something to do, and it's a worthwhile cause. It's not going to make somebody lots of money. It's going to stay as a local resource.
Well, there was two questions there. First of all, I was going to ask both of you, do you have much boat knowledge? Oh, good.
Colin
Thank
does.
Goodness. Thank goodness, Colin.
If you have a look about, you'll see canoes, boats.
Oh, yeah. If I turn around, suddenly I can see all sorts of things.
And there's another one out at Dunstaffnage sitting in the water.
Yep, and a few in the shed.
So expert hands then.
Well, I wouldn't say expert, but again, with a name like Turtle, I really had no option but to like the water. And I've been sailing and canoeing and playing in the water since I was 8-9 years old.
Fantastic. So between yourselves, you're going to pull this restoration together.
Yes.
Yep,
One
and
way or
hopefully
the
we'll
other
get
it'll be
help
done.
from other folk out there once we get started.
Yeah.
Because there have to be old retired boat builders that need something to do.
Senior, not old. Just watch what you're saying, Mr. Turtle.
Well, I'm old.
Speak for yourself.
But experience,
Yes.
that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, somebody that will have much more knowledge than we have.
I mean, my boats, as you know, are normally a maximum of 6 feet long and they're remote controlled. They don't usually come that you can sit in them. So this is a new experience, but it's just what I do on a bigger scale.
So when it's ready, when she's finished, when
Yep.
she's ready, where will she go, and what's your vision for her? What's she going to do?
My vision is it should be a living piece of history. That if an event comes up in Oban, we'll be able to take her to the event, hopefully get it on the water, get people in it to get it sailing again. There's Adventure Oban that we're hoping doing a bit of work for soon. There's so much maritime history in Oban itself that we don't know about. Because there must have been at least 4 or 5 different boat builders in Oban itself originally.
Yeah, Curry's, I think, is the last one. That's
Yeah.
I don't know whether he's got the boatyard round by the lifeboat station, but his father, I know, was a boat builder, and he's a boat builder, but I believe he now does, what do you call it, the diver goes down and gets them scallops, is it, or
Right.
something like that, but he's still got the boatyard, so I think he still does work on boats, but I couldn't swear to that.
Well, the Lockfine skiff is making a comeback. There's a builder of the Lockfine skiff happening again. There was the Oban skiff, there was the 6 Tureens and the 4 Tureens, there was the Barras, the Zulus. There's so many fishing type boats around this area of this era.
In fact, tomorrow I'm actually going to do my next leg of the row around Scotland. I'm not going all the way around the skiff.
One of the skiffs.
Yeah, so I'm with the Seal. I'm with the Seal skiff.
Oh, excellent.
So we're doing Crovehaven to Balvicar tomorrow.
Excellent.
I'm hoping
The
it
weather's
might
like
not
this.
be.
Yes,
Plenty of
take a
sunscreen.
sun hat.
I certainly will. I certainly will. So it's a really exciting time. You're looking for more people to sort of come on board
Yeah.
and help out. But what about more sponsorship? Because this is going to. I know you've got some money to do it from the council fund, but
We're hoping that the money they gave us will cover it, because we've priced the wood, even the copper rivets, rather than normal screw nails. So hopefully we'll cover it. But if we see ourselves getting short, because one of the main things we've got is if there's any suppliers out there of timber, now we need decent timber to replace the various slats on it. But being honest, there's no sawmills about here now, and plus there's not really a great deal of. Apparently, Scottish pine isn't very good for boats. European pine apparently is, but we're going to have to try and source the wood, because as you can see, there's a few of these that are going to have be replaced, snapped, and as we take things apart, we'll find out more.
Yes, once we start to strip it down to its bare wood, we'll see what the wood is, we'll see what has to be done to it. And as I say, we're going to try and keep as much as possible of the original boat, but there's a fair bit of work of rot in it that has to come out.
Yeah.
But again, we've got roughly a year to do it.
Yeah.
That's what you're giving yourself, have you, about a year?
Well, no, the count, you've got to have the project that you've got the money. They've extended it because of the various things with a virus and all that. It's December of next year. It's got to be completed.
Oh, to spend the money that they've given you.
You've actually got to show that rather than us going away for a holiday with the money, you've actually got to show it's been used for what.
In your little boat.
Yes. Well, if the boat's finished, we might go away for a holiday, but the boat would be finished first.
But I'd be more akin to get more people to help.
Yes.
Than,
once we start, because
labour is going to be the major thing in it.
Yeah.
As opposed to finances.
Yeah.
So,
and if there's 2 or 3 people who can help and have knowledge of what they're doing, even labouring as in scraping the paintwork off, sanding down, until we get to the bare roots and then start to rebuild.
So anybody who is listening and thinks, actually, I might quite like to get involved in that, and I know a little bit of stuff that might be able to help out, what should they do? Sort of get in touch with the Men's Shed?
Men's Shed, they can either get us on Facebook, we've got the Men's Shed Oban page on Facebook, or call in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday morning at the Men's Shed in Stevenson Street, beside the Salvation Army. We're normally there before 8, but we're there until 11, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So if they want to just call in, see us.
Excellent.
They'll be more than welcome. And even if it's not with this boat, if they want to call in just to see the place, again, they're more than welcome.
Lovely. Well, when you get her all sorted, can I come out in it with you?
Oh yes, absolutely. Yes.
I'll hold you to that.
Just make sure you've got plenty of life insurance before you do, of course. That's how confident we are.
No, the first time it's launched, it'll leak like a sieve.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, it's wooden boat.
Yeah.
Is that what they do?
It'll have to be left in. Once we get it sorted, it'll have to be left in the water for about 24 hours.
Yeah. You see, if
to
you
let
were
the
my
timber
age,
swell.
you'd remember in Oban Bay what used to happen at the start of the season. The clinker built rowing boat owners would take their boats down to the beach, fill them with stones and sink them and leave them there all day because the wood shrinks in the heat, and then once it gets wet and they then take the bricks out and it's fine. It actually just swells the wood up and tightens the joints. So no matter how well you think you've put it together, there'll always be gaps.
Well, don't ring me until you've done that. I'm not coming on it until it's sorted.
No, we need someone for the bucket.
Lovely to chat to you.
More than nice to have.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And hopefully the next time you see it, the boat will be looking slightly different.
I hope so.
We love to hear your feedback on our podcasts, so why not drop us a line, something for the weekend at obantimes.co.uk, or comment on our Instagram or Facebook pages. And if you fancy getting involved with the programme with some original music, please get in touch. That's all for this week. There'll be another new podcast, same time, same place next week. And of course, you can listen to some of our older podcasts at www.obantimes.co.uk/podcasts.